sole of your foot and the ground. Finding that left foot now. And again, just checking in with your hips, checking your shoulders are lovely and wide and strong, broad shoulders. And you're not tucking your sternum around and down. Allow your chest to be high. So we're stretching gently into that vagus, helping digestion, helping calm and ease the whole body system. And when you're ready, tipping gently forward, keeping that leg strong and not locking the knee. Use your breath to help steady you. And gently coming out. Well done. Taking your legs wide again. Prasarita Padottanasana. But this time we're going to just keep hands on hips and we're only going to go halfway to start with. So halfway, sending your sit bones out behind you. Again, not locking the legs, keeping those kneecaps slightly lifted. So flat back, the tabletop back, hands on hips. And then we're going to bring in a twist. So we're taking the right hand to the left foot. So all the way down towards the left foot. Hold on to either your lower leg or your ankle or just by your foot. And then we reach up with that left arm. So big twist and fold. Twist, fold, and we've got a wide leg stance. Lots going on here. Lots to focus on. Think about where you're feeling this. I'm feeling mine in the back of my left thigh. How about you? So breathing nice and deep and slow, right down, as deep as you can with each breath. No holding the breath. And then let's walk around. Do the same thing on the other side. So left hand to right foot. And then sweeping that right arm up all the way up towards the ceiling and looking up towards the ceiling as well. If that works for you, if it makes you feel dizzy or your neck feels uncomfortable, then just looking out to the side. Otherwise, your drishti point is up towards your thumb. And your drishti point is soft, unfocused gaze. Thinking about that left shoulder, the top of your back, hopefully having a really good stretch and release. Coming back to center. Bringing your hands to the mat, below your head, sort of at the halfway point between your legs, and pushing now into your hands, as if you were going to flip your legs up and come into a handstand, pressing really firmly into those palms, into your arms, feeling that in your shoulders, feeling it in your torso, taking as much weight as you possibly can into your hands and arms. Still go, add a little bit more if you can, feeling that that weight is being taken off the soles of your feet, and release. Taking your knees down to the mat. Come into a tabletop position, and we're going to take the legs wide, and we're coming into balasana. So knees wide, big toes together, send your bottom back to your heels and slide your arms forward. So we've just had all that pressure into the hands, into the shoulders, your forehead relaxed onto the mat, neck is long, and extend your hands away from you. So we're walking the left fingertips away, walking the right fingertips away, allowing your chest to come down towards the mat or to be on the mat. If it is more comfortable, you can take your chin to the mat instead of your forehead. Do what works for you. Chin or forehead. We're looking for a big opening under the arms. We're looking for that sensation of pressure in the tops of the shoulders. Those muscles all bunching up there as you press your chest down towards the mat. Nice slow deep breaths. And then when you're ready, take your attention to your shoulders, widening them a little further and rolling yourself all the way back to sitting. So let's come into Vajrasana, hero pose. So sitting back on heels. And I know for a couple of you this isn't very comfortable. So you can use a cushion, you can put in some padding underneath. Find out where that padding would work for you so that you know for the future whether it's under your feet or whether it's between your feet and your bum. You can also come into Virasana instead and take your feet out to the sides if that works better for you. In fact, let's all try to come into Virasana. So we've gone from Vajrasana to diamond pose, and this is Virasana, which is hero pose. Too many V's. So we're sitting on the floor, feet out to the side. And I know that can be quite tricky, and if you've got things going on with your knees and that doesn't feel safe for you, then stay in hero pose. And again, if neither of them feel great, you can always come into easy cross-legged pose. And coming back, we're sliding over to the left. So knees to the right. Nope, legs to the right, can't speak. And knees turned over to the side there. We're going to come into a twist. So we'll leave the left leg where it is. We'll bring the right leg over. So you can either be on the outside edge. Is this the inside? This is the inside. On the inside or the outside. If you can, this works much more easily for you in a twist, and you don't have to be doing quite so much work with your legs. One thing that's really important is both sit bones on the mat. So if you have to adjust your left foot out a little to give yourself more space, do that. But both sit bones on the mat, and from there stacking up as tall as you can. So we start out nice and straight before we come into our twist. I'm going to take the right elbow, pop it inside the edge of the right knee, and then bring that hand over to make a stop sign. Left arm comes out and around, and we're twisting, taking the hand down behind, popping it on the floor. So we walk the fingers round to help us with this twist, and we're also pushing into that raised knee to give yourself a little bit more twist as well. Quite a strong twist in the top of your back. And some work required of that right leg as well to stay strong. So you've got a nice base to push against to give yourself your twist. Try to keep your shoulders open and your chest raised as well. Crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And don't hold your breath. Breathe. Not so easy to do really lovely deep breaths here because we're quite twisted in the chest. But again, noticing how little we can breathe in. It's quite interesting. And let's release. So head first, then shoulders, then arms, and then back to center. Well done. So we'll come over to the other side. Let's swap legs. Right leg comes down, right heel, just tucking in next to your left sit bone. Let that leg settle for a moment. Might feel quite tight and tense up there in the hip joint. And then bringing your left leg over or tucking in on the inside. Both sit bones on the mat. Let's have a check and see if that's all right for you. And then we're going to bring that left arm over, tuck it on the inside edge of the left knee, stop sign, and open shoulders to come out and round. We're going to work that left leg as well to keep strong and keeping that knee upright. Don't forget to bring the top of your twist to completion by turning your head as far as you can to look behind you. And release. Release your head, release your arms, come all the way back, take your legs wide, give them a little bit of a shake. So legs are wide, keep the backs of your legs in contact with the floor as much as possible. If they're quite relaxed, you'll see there'll be big gaps of light. Take your knees down, bring your toes back towards your face, extend each leg away, and then relax your feet. Nice and tall, and we're sliding down the right leg with the right hand, but staying with this torso, your torso, in the same plane. So we're not folding forward and we're not leaning backwards. Only a sideways motion, and then that left hand coming up. We can bring it up to the center for now. Think about pressing those knees down into the ground. You should be feeling this hopefully in your left hip, on the left side of your body, and as you squeeze into the right, also feeling that sense of compression, of strength. Nice opening up under both arms. Try not to allow your left sit bone to float and fly. And as we come back to center, it'll be from a lift, so lifting up and then coming around. Same thing, let's do the same on the other side. Left hand, left leg, sliding down, go to where works for you, and then taking that right arm up. And again, watching out so that we're not folding forward. That changes what's going on in the side of the body here. We want to be open, so that right shoulder is open to the front and lifting up with that right hand. Breathing nice and slow and deep. We're getting into all the bits of the body that we don't generally work out in our everyday lives. We're going to do some nice forwards and backwards bends in a moment. But don't worry, we'll warm the spine up first. And then we're going to reach to come out. So reaching up, coming up, bringing the legs back together. Let's come into Paschimottanasana. I was going to do this at the end, but let's bring it here because we are here already. So we're going to do a few folds and marry that with the breath. So folding forward, breathing out. Inhaling to come up and turn sideways. So Paschimottanasana, make sure that your legs are extended, toes are bringing themselves back towards the face a little. As you fold forward, keeping your body long and not rounding the back. If this feels really tight, if it feels a bit frustrating, you feel like you're going nowhere, you can bend your knees and bring your torso to your thighs. Gently hold on. And then you can extend your feet away from you. So keep that nice flat spine as you extend the legs away. We're looking for a connection between torso and your tummy and your thighs. So if that's not working with straight legs, go for bent legs. Inhaling to come away, exhaling to fold forward. Just two more here. Bringing your feet in, bringing yourself up to a squat, coming all the way around, bringing yourself into a lovely tabletop position. We're going to warm up the spine before we move into some nice deep forward and back bend. So belly down towards the mat, shoulders are wide, sit bones flaring up towards the ceiling and the back of the head coming towards the top of your back. Rounding now, coming into our cat. Breathing out. Breathing in, coming into cow. Belly to the mat. Now, nobody feels like they're moving very much in this posture, but you are. Every little movement in your spine is helpful. It's moving things around. It's moving your system so that it can get rid of the waste, detoxify, helping the system detoxify itself. Moving everything so that you're feeding the system, taking nutrients and oxygen and everything else that's needed around the transport system of your body. So moving at your own pace, cat and cow. After the twists and turns that we've just been doing, this should feel really lovely. Certainly feels pretty good to me. And again, not focusing on your range of movement, focusing on how you feel. Last two. Last one. Tucking your toes and pushing back. So working into the soles of those feet again and into your toes, into your Achilles. Pushing back as tightly as you can. If you want to bring your knees off, you can. And stay with your knees on the mat. And lifting up into downward facing dog. Sending your hips up. You might need to adjust the distance between your feet. Roughly keeping enough space for you to put your to put another 2 feet in between yours. That's 2 feet looking just like your feet as you can see them now, not the other way around. Shoulders wide, sit bones up towards the ceiling, keeping that length between your shoulders, the length extending from your hands, your wrists, all the way to your sit bones. Long in the sides of your body, pulling your belly button gently towards your spine. Feeling that you're strong in your shoulders, that they're wide. And then looking forward, looking to your hands. We're going to come into upward facing dog. So we pivot forward. We're going to take the tops of the feet to the mat. Legs still straight. And then taking the hips down, bringing your upper body between your legs. You might have to slide your feet forward. So we're not squeezing the glutes. Relax your glutes here. Shoulders are wide again. Sending your sternum forward and upwards. Tops of the feet relaxed. Make sure that your toes are pointing out directly behind you and you're not turning your feet in. And relax, bringing your body down to the mat. Making sure you have enough space. Don't think you'll have enough space. And sending your hands forward as far as you can. Feel that stretch across the tops of your shoulders. Maybe even into your back. So it's time for a little bit of cobra. We have just done a little bit of a bend in the back with our upward facing dog. So we're doing another one. 2 back bends together. And then we will counter pose directly after that. So shoulders wide, elbows out, pointing behind you, but directly behind you. So not flaring out to the sides. Keep them tucked in towards your body. Hands flat to the floor, either side of your chest. And then looking forward, raising your head. Chin strong. Pushing into the tops of your feet. Keeping your legs nice and long and strong. And then starting to contract the muscles in your back to raise yourself off the mat. So a baby cobra, but very strong. Squeezing into those glutes, whole of the back of your body engaged, strong. And release. Let's go all the way back down to the mat. Take your arms into makara. One forearm stacked on top of the other and a pillow for your forehead. Relax. Let everything completely flop and ease. Excuse me. Time to take a nice couple of deep breaths here because it's really hard to keep breathing easily and deeply while you're in Cobra or Bhujangasana. And there we go. We're back moving again. So hands back either side of your chest, elbows behind you. Start thinking about your legs, strong, pushing into the floor. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze the muscles in your back, contract, raise, go as far as you can, using all those muscles in the posterior chain, not the hands, and then pushing into your hands. Changes the posture completely, pushing into your arms, shoulders wide, don't let those shoulders creep up towards your ears. Come to where works for you. This is a very strong posture. It depends on the flexibility in your spine, in your hips, Depends on your shoulders, so many things. Squeezing into your glutes to protect your lower back. Gazing forward. A little bit of a stretch in the throat if you wish, but not too much. And we're pushing back into downward facing dog. So we want to counter pose. Bring yourself into down dog, however works for you. And we're walking the hands towards the feet and the feet towards the hands to come into an easy forward bend. So we're counter posing our cobra and our upward facing dog. So easy forward bend, Uttanasana, before we start coming back down to the mat again. Gently uncurling, keeping your head, neck, shoulders, arms heavy, not engaged in this movement at all. It's all legs, all core. All the way up. Let's just engage the upper back a little. So clasping your hands together. If you can bring the palms of your hands towards each other, great. Otherwise, keep that connection there. And roll your shoulders forward and then roll them out to the sides and back. Think about sending your shoulder blades down your back as you move your hands further down, just resting on your bum. Chin is high, length through the front of the body. Squeeze your shoulder blades together now. Firmly squeezing your shoulder blades together. Taking those hands down towards the ground a little further. And then let's add in a little bit of a lift. Taking them away from your body. Honoring your shoulders. Any past injuries, any past issues, grumbles. Be kind. Listen and respect what's going on. We're gently encouraging the muscles. We're not forcing things that are needing rest instead of movement. And release. Bring your arms round, right up high. Give yourself a really high hug. So right hand onto the left shoulder, spread your fingers wide, holding onto that shoulder blade, and the same on the left. So holding tight, squeeze, and allow your head to come down, allow your mid-back to round. As if you feel your shoulder blades moving away from each other. Coming back, release. This time we're taking the arms wide and we're taking them as far behind as possible. So bringing the shoulder blades together quite firmly, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Breathe. Sternum is lifted, don't round here, and release. Can you remember which arm went on top last time? Can you do it the other way around, please? So if the left arm was on top, send the right arm on top this time. And again, a little bit of rounding, a little bit of chin to chest. Sending yourself so much love, gratitude, kindness, whatever else you want to send yourself. And release. Bringing the arms down, give them a little bit of a shake. Give your legs a bit of a shake. Give your hips a bit of a wiggle from side to side. Shoulders a bit of a wiggle. Like you're made out of rubber. Have a little swing around. And we're coming down to the ground. So we're going to come down in a chair. So nice and relaxed. Last little bit of work here. So feet together. Let's bring the toes together, ankles together, heels together. Nice and long and tall, chin lifted. Take your arms up, and then we're going to sit back down in that imaginary chair. Let's go really slowly. So sitting in our chairs. Breathing nice and deep. And then we're coming all the way down. Taking the feet out. Nope, taking the knees out. Keep the feet in. Once more into Baddha Konasana. Back where we started. Hopefully everything, well, definitely everything will have opened up a little, moved a little. So here are your toes, your lovely toes. Give them a little bit of a rub. Be quite firm. Your reflex points are your head, neck, shoulders, eyes, ears, nose, mouth on your toes. So give them a squeeze, give them a rub. And then bringing your knees in. We're going to come down to the ground. So we can go into Anavasana, or you can roll directly down to the mat. Completely up to you, whatever you prefer. If you're in boat, remembering to keep your back as straight as possible. And extending slowly down to the mat. Bending your knees, bringing your feet in towards your hips, feet flat to the floor. We're going to come into a bridge. So we're squeezing, sending the hips up towards the ceiling. Hands are flat to the floor. So your palms facing down. Fingertips pointing towards your heels or just by your heels. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your thighs. Think about pressing the floor away from you with the soles of your feet. So pushing the ground away. Starting to think about your breath slowing down, deepening, using up more of your available space for breath in your body. And then slowly coming down, vertebra by vertebra. Well done. There's some tricky things in that practice today. So wonderful if you have managed to follow. Wonderful if you've managed to adapt. Just wonderful that you came here and brought yourself to your mat in the first place. Pulling your knees into your chest, a little bit of a rock from side to side. Making that movement as peaceful and gentle or as vigorous as you feel is right for you right now. Bringing yourself into a twist. So our last twist, shoulders wide and flat, taking the knees out to the right. If you find that folding onto your side there doesn't really work and you can't get your right leg down to the floor, so you're hovering, all you need to do is send your feet further away. So straightening the legs a little will allow you to bring that right leg to rest on the floor. And coming back to center. And over to the other side. Excuse me. In your final twist, in your posture series, allow yourself to soften and relax. Let go. And bringing your knees back to center, your head back to center. Give yourself a hug. Well done. And then come into Shavasana. Closing your eyes, finding a comfortable position, finding something warm if you need it, lengthening, making yourself take up as much space as you possibly can. It's your space, occupy it. Take your arms a little away from your body, so you're lying on the floor in your Shavasana like a starfish on the beach, just sunbathing, waiting for the next wave to go back in that lovely clear blue sea. Space between your limbs, torso relaxed. So breathing in as deeply as you can, and then softly letting that breath flow back out as you exhale. Gently breathing in, taking in that light and warmth and possibility, strength. And as you breathe out, letting go of the things that you cannot control, letting go of the things that you're carrying that are heavy. Just for now, lightening the load. Breathing in and out at your own speed, at your own pace. Taking your attention around your body, relaxing every little bit. Your toes and your feet, up your legs, through your whole torso, your hands, your arms, your shoulders, into your neck and your head. The wave of relaxation. Sending your kind, loving attention around your whole body. Sending your kind, loving attention to your mind, your body, and your spirit. And using your sense of yourself and what you need. Staying in your Shavasana for as long as you need. This is the time where that energy movement that we used in our practice has a chance to settle. Processes that have been pushed into starting with a little more vigor are happening now. Enjoy your Shavasana. Remember to keep breathing deeply and softly. And know that when it's the right time to come out, you'll know. Namaste.